drone jammers might be the most important tool in Ukrainians' toolkit in this war. But just how effective are they on the battlefield? And did the drone jammers that you guys already bought save lives? I'm Paul, U.S. Army combat veteran. Let's talk about it. Okay, so this is a couple of updates from the guys at Ukraine Aid Ops. You guys might not know, their new fundraiser is out, and they are expressly trying to do a bulk buy of drone jammers effectively. And they released a video showing just what these bad boys do. And you guys know that I'm a huge appreciator of any time these guys will show us, right, where the aid's going, what they're doing. I'm all about accountability, but just check out what this drone jammer can do. Okay, so an REB is their drone jamming unit. And you can see it's pretty straightforward. It's literally just built in one of these containerized like tough boxes with some inputs here.
Завдяки цьому засобу радіоелектронної боротьби ми можемо зберегти особовий склад і техніку.
Now, I'm going to have to actually mute it because they're going to start playing music and I don't have the copyright for it. But what I want to point out is that these are very similar to what we used to run in Afghanistan, which we called the Duke system and Dukes and Crews. I think ours were Crews at that time. But they are a broad spectrum frequency jammer. Simply put, when an electronic device that receives a signal is in range of the jammer and that signal that it expects to receive is within the jammer's frequency range, it can't receive a signal. And that was crucial because when I was there, a lot of IEDs were detonated with cell phone signals. So they would hit this cell phone and block that incoming signal. Now, not with all frequencies, and it wasn't 100% effective, but it was very, very effective at blocking those transmissions, right? Because you needed to make sure that when you were close enough to detonate that IED, you wanted to know that the actual detonator couldn't get that detonation signal. And the same is true with drones. Drones are, at least these modern FPV drones, are not that different from flying IEDs. In some ways, that's really how they're employed. So watch as these guys are going to demonstrate. Right, so you can see they turn on the frequency jammers. What I love about some of this Ukrainian technology is that it's not, quite as slick as some of the stuff that, we would get, but it's so simple. I love how purpose-built it is. The U.S. military, they love adding requirements onto a contract, right? And so they'll sit there and say, well, we want our drone jammer. We want to be able to plug it into every vehicle in our arsenal. We want to be able to have it be waterproof, freeze-proof. We want it to jam a gajillion different signals. We want it to have a massive radius. And every time you add one of those requirements, it doesn't feel like a lot when you say it. But when you're designing it, it makes the unit bigger, pricier, more complex, more inputs, harder to set up, right? They say, oh, we want it to be programmable, right? And the Ukrainians say, listen, what is the minimum effective unit? And guess what it appears to have? It looks like it has literally 4 buttons. There's probably an on button back here, and that's it. And that's what kind of makes this brilliant, is that it can be in the field and you be trained on how to use it in like a minute. So here they are flying their own drones. And, okay, I think this is cool. You see how as they get closer to the system, their own camera starts to blur. I think there might be it might actually be interfering somewhat with the transmissions as it gets turned on, right? And you can see here's another drone coming in and it collapses. You see they're actually further away from the jammer, but look at how tight the jamming radius is. This is, again, a testament to the fact that, these drones, because they're precision weapons, they're unlikely to have a payload that will be dangerous at these distances. So you could get this close, but you see them, drone after drone, different models the Ukrainians are flying. All of them are just bricked by the jammer that just sits out there in a field, right? So being able to make this purchase for them really makes a difference. Right? And you can see this here. They're just saying, giving us a huge thank you, and all the guys staying anonymous, of course. But I think this is really illustrative. First off, I wanted to point some stuff out. The number one thing is that there's a fundraiser here, right? They're raising funds, and I'm going to have the link in my description. And if you guys do donate, and if you want to be anonymous, by all means, be anonymous. But if you do want to post on the wall, let them know that I sent you. Let them know Paul from Combat Vet React sent you. You guys know the deal. It's Ukraine Aid Ops, so they're a U.S. 501c3 charity, so it is tax deductible when you make that donation. Of course, they always have some cool swag, including an Unmanned Systems Forces patch. This is the Ukrainians' newest branch of their military, which is a Unmanned Systems Forces patch. Plus, if you do the 500, you also get the UAO Clear Skies pin, which I appreciate. Or actually, I think this is kind of fun. $1,000, which I get it, that's a lot, but it's a shell, an expended artillery shell, painted with artwork of a Ukrainian soldier guiding in an FPV drone, which is fun. But most importantly, this is going direct to the units. Literally, we are going to take a look, so don't go anywhere, because we're going to take a look at video where one of the units was recording the thank you video for a drone jammer that we got them when they actually came under Russian FPV attack and had to activate the jammer. So, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding, right? So, right, this is this is a whole bunch of jammers that are going to units, probably because, again, one of the things they used to do kind of one unit at a time, but they've been so successful that they've expanded. So now they're doing multiple runs to multiple units. And so I think in the interest of kind of streamlining, they are focusing on just one critical piece of equipment. So let's take a look. This is actually from a recent video from their YouTube channel. I have to mute it because a band that they worked with, Blind 8, actually has a bunch of Ukrainian members who are now serving in the armed forces, but they're using Blind 8's music in the videos. So check this out, right? Just a few days ago, this is a few days ago as of September, so 3 days ago. So probably like last week. This is from the Kursk direction. Oh, okay. It's still screaming, but literally we could watch this. You could hear them. Literally, you heard the drones buzzing there, and then the music kicked back on. They literally ran over to where they were filming it, and we're like, turn it on, turn it on. You could see them hit it, activate the jammer, and then get to cover. And they say, oh, it's buzzing loud, which means it's coming for him. So you could see this guy's actually pretty smart. He knows that van is a target, even though it's got the jammer on. Again, as you saw, it won't hit until the drone's quite close, and the drone still has some momentum. So even if it gets stopped, it's still tough. But he hides, again, in foliage. Looks like this is somebody who knows what's up, right? Gets into foliage, gets behind cover, puts some objects between himself and the drone. Every video we've seen, this is exactly what you want to do, right? Overhead cover, be hard to see, be a hard for the drone to navigate, and get away from other targets. But you could see that the drone ends up just crashing out, right? Doesn't affect him. So good on them. Obviously thrilled to see them staying safe out there. And if you want to contribute, the link is in the description. That's all I got, guys. Huge thank you to our Colonel tier members, Bill Collier, Robert Colburn, Gaius Marning, and Gina Questa, Chris Gorsuch, Francis Carius, L90, Petratoro, all the Lieutenant tier members, and really a huge thank you to all you guys that have donated to these fundraisers. I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.